Think we're live. Hello, everybody. I'm Burt Middleton, the Gout Killer, and I have a new camera, and I have this fancy thing on the screen here. I don't quite have my logo figured out yet, and soon I will be figuring out just what I'm going to have to do to figure out how to let you type in some questions so that we can actually interact on this whole Google Hangout thing. So, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. I want to thank you for taking out the time out of your busy day to join me today. Either if you, I see there's a few people on that are watching live right now. Thank you very much. And if you are now watching this as a replay, I appreciate you taking the time to come and check this out. And I appreciate that because there are a number of different things that happen in this world of gout that add to so much confusion. And so just the fact that you're here trying to figure this out and get more information and make sense of it all and do something about it, I want to thank you for that, because the more we band together as these gout renegades, these gout killers, then I think there will be more information out there. And at the grip of big pharma, making everybody think that that if you got gout, you're just a victim of your genes. There's nothing you can do about it. It couldn't be anything further from the truth. So you and we're going to make that happen. And what we're going to talk about tonight is the microbiome as it relates to gout. And so I'm not going to go too deep on this. I just did the conference call. So if you missed that, or if you were on that, that's great. Thank you for that too. But the conference call I had titled good digestion is what prevents gout, and I do those conference calls every Wednesday night at 6:30. I do these Google Hangouts, as you might know, every other Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. I tried to group this all together, but I'm kind of playing off of what we did at the call, talking about digestion and how digestion is such the critical first step as to why we live our lives up to a certain point, and then all of a sudden we get a gout attack, and then they just start happening more and more. You get more gout attacks every year. They get more severe. They get worse. The reason why, and to begin with, is because your digestion is not happening the way that it should be. And part of there's one sort of half, or 1/3 actually. This is something I haven't heard anybody else talking about, so this is my theory. When it comes to digestion, there are like 3 things that have to happen in the whole world of digestion, north to south, from the time food from the outside world goes in our mouth, and then we take it into the inside of us and break it all down into these microscopic nutrients that then feed the cells throughout our bodies. One of the first things that has to happen is that we have to have good hydrochloric acid, good stomach acid, to break that down to begin with. But then there are all of the different enzymes that are either present in our foods, or they are synthesized through processes of metabolism in our bodies to further break down and use that food. And the third thing is all of the probiotic type of organisms that help to break down those foods. And some of those organisms are really helpful, and we depend on them. Those are our microbiome. And there's a lot of talk these days about how we are completely dependent on our microbiome to live a healthy life, to take care of that digestion, break those foods down so that they are used, break them down into the right nutrients, but also the right size and the right shape so that they're recognized by our bodies at the cellular level. I've really been getting a lot of that from Dr. Terry Walls, the Walls Protocol. If you don't know who she is, just go Google Terry Walls, Dr. Terry Walls. She is a traditionally trained MD that became a multiple sclerosis patient and then learned the world of functional medicine. And she is really breaking all the boundaries about how food really is medicine. And she is living proof of it. So I'm so inspired by her, and I'm almost done with her book, The Walls Protocol. And I'm going to be changing some of the things, but I was amazed at how much of everything that she put into her book about how she got over MS, how she's learned to control and live with and get over from being wheelchair bound to be like speaking on speaking tours. I met her, she signed my book on a couple weeks ago when I was up in Vancouver, Washington at the Nutritional Therapy Association conference. But the whole microbiome, she really talks about it in terms of getting those nutrients broken down into the right shapes so that they are used by the cells properly. And that is the beginning of an upward spiral of good health and regeneration of our entire organism, right from us being the organism to the systems that make up us as an organism. And the systems are made up of organs, like the gastrointestinal system is, 3 of the main organs are the stomach, the pancreas, and the gallbladder. And each of those are made out of separate tissues, and those tissues are made out of cells. And if those cells are not getting what they need in the right shape, in the right amount, in the right size, then the cells are not healthy, and it just cascades from there. So that's what I really wanted to talk about, is that the good bacteria and the good, usually we talk about the bad bacteria and the bad yeasts like Candida and the fungi and the parasites kind of crowding out and making for this very dysbiotic, this unhealthy inhabitation of anti-nutrient type organisms that are robbing us of our vitality at the cellular level. There is a lot of talk about how the microbiome it's sort of like, who's the host here? Are they smarter than we are? Like, like all it really comes down to is that we're just here so that they have a place to live. It's like there are more of them than there are of us. I mean, we have pounds of good bacteria in our, and basically in our small intestine, and even more in our large intestine, where there is an enormous amount of synthesizing going on from what's left over of what is being processed before it's eliminated as waste, as our feces. But there are a number of different B vitamins and vitamin K and just all kinds of really important nutrients that get created in the large intestine. It's not just like that's the repository for a bunch of poop. It's like some really important things happen there. And if it's not happening correctly, then we're not particularly all that healthy. So what does all that have to do with gout? Well, to begin with, if our microbiome is healthy, then a number of different things happen. Most of the time, what is going on with people who have gout is that we've been eating a lot of crappy food for a long time, and we don't get enough sleep, and we get all stressed out, and our hormones get out of whack. And in the process of whacking out our hormones, we eat too many sugars, and sugars come from straight up sugars, but also from refined carbohydrates. And our diets, as you and I both know, are full of refined carbohydrates, all those grain-based foods, all the cheap cereals, all the cheap breads, all the cheap pastas, a million different crackers and cookies and, all that stuff that has a long shelf life and it's really cheap to make. Well, that is feeding the bad bacteria, parasites, fungi, and yeasts in our stomachs. I mean, in our gastrointestinal systems, and so that is creating this dysbiotic environment in there. And so it only cascades into poor detoxification, poor elimination. And when we're not using those nutrients correctly, then the cells of our kidneys start to go down, the cells of our blood, and we start to develop all kinds of cardiovascular problems that make it difficult for our bodies to know whether or not to hang on to or let go of the uric acid. Because this might be news to you, uric acid is actually a very important antioxidant in our bodies that does a lot of good things, especially in our cardiovascular system, as long as it stays in solution. And it's our kidneys that have the intelligence of knowing, kind of like on a moment-to-moment basis, how much uric acid to let go and how much uric acid to hold on to keep everything protected and running smoothly. So as you can see, I'm kind of like getting way into all of this. I'm kind of geeking out on all of what this is all about and getting deeper and deeper into understanding this whole gout thing. It's my mission in life to come up with the way that gout is managed and controlled and prevented. I want to tell the world about what I've learned, and I want to save the world from gout, I guess is the easy way to put it. So anyway, I'm a gout freak. Probably the only one in the world. Well, that's not true. There's some other gout freaks out there. But anyway, that is what the microbiome has so much to do with how our bodies are slowly breaking down. It's not just like any one thing. It's not just like like everybody thinks, if you eat this, then you're going to get gout. If you eat that, you're going to get gout. And in a lot of ways, some foods can be triggers for gout. But what you have to understand is that they're triggers only because your body chemistry is so broken to the point that now gout can happen. The excess uric acid becomes a problem. So let's fix all of that. I don't know if you've checked out my website or not, but if you do, thegoutkiller.com, there are a number of different ways that I help people get out of a gout attack. I help people prevent gout in the future. I have my video-based program that's called Kill Your Gout for Good. You can go find it on there. And I'm a certified nutritional therapy consultant, and I take personal clients, and I deal with people all around the world. I help people all around the world that are struggling with gout. Either on the phone or on Skype, we can make it happen. So just wanted to tell you about that. I think I'm done rambling on, and sooner or later I'm going to have a way for you to type in questions, but I still haven't figured that out, so I apologize. And I've got just a couple of announcements. Every Wednesday night, Mountain Standard Time at 6:30, I do Let's Talk Gout. It's the Gout conference call. If you go to my website, thegoutkiller.com, there's a tab at the top called Gout Killer TV. I'm trying to make more and more out of that, and you'll see all the details, the call-in number and the PIN number and all of that, so you can call in next Wednesday night. And I do these Google Hangouts every other Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, and you can watch the live stream. Maybe that's what you're doing right now, and so you can check that out. Just go there. That's where all the details. I update that all the time. And I'm trying to do a live event every month. And the next one is coming up this month, April 22nd, Sunday, 1 p.m. at the Natural Grocers at the corner of Colorado and Evans. If you live here in Denver, I hope I see you there. And it would be great to see you there, because we are going to be talking about anti-inflammatory foods. We're calling that one Gout Fighters, foods that reduce inflammation. So we're working with that. That's what's going on. And I want to thank you for either being here live or watching this replay. And you and I, we are going to rid the world of gout. So thank you.